Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Magic is happening. So what's happening, G-Money?
Great things happening. We have an extraordinary crew all wondering what this is all about, Sean Callagy.
I don't know. Who knows? I thought you could. No, listen, what we're doing here is we're exploring the superpower of integrous influence. What if our money, our time, our magic, all the things we want to do and create in our life, we're actually, as Einstein said, make it as simple as possible, but not simpler. We're actually, just like gravity, controlled by how we master the superpower of integrous influence, where we apply it and how we emotionally get ourselves to use it. And what if our marketing, our selling, our managing, our leading, our recruiting, our fundraising for profit, not for profit, all of those things were directly, not indirectly, not sort of, but were actually directly correlated to superpower of influence, what we do with it, how we get ourselves to emotionally use it. That's what we're playing with. And we're doing it in a way like we could be having lunch and have a cup of coffee talking about it. We're doing it virtually, online, connecting with extraordinary people. That's what we're doing. So Gina, besides the redhead I'll introduce in a second, the co-host, who do we have here today?
First up, joining us from Dallas, Texas, financial advisor at Northwestern Mutual, helping his clients reduce the expenses of income taxes and providing comprehensive financial plans. Please, let's all welcome Chris Moen to the Heart of Influence.
Chris, how are you?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
Doing great. Welcome to the party. And what's a fun fact about you, Chris? Something we wouldn't otherwise expect to hear. I don't know. It could be, a fun moment, a proud moment. Could be an absurd moment. But we'd be like, Chris, really? No way.
One time, many, many years ago, I auditioned for Wheel of Fortune. I didn't make it on, but I got to like the final stage.
Did you get to meet Vanna White?
No.
Pat Sajak?
No, none of them were there.
I was kidding. Who was the person who was hosting at the time?
So it wasn't actually on set. They were like going around to different towns. So when I was living in Denver, and they would come and set up at a hotel, and you can sign up and go. And then I made it to the very final part of that, and then didn't get the call to go actually out to California.
How do they pick the people to do it, though? Is it like you got to spin the wheel? There's a lot of luck involved, or they just had you solving puzzles with no wheel?
Yeah, so they actually give you a bunch of blank puzzles that are partially filled out, and they give you like 5 minutes, and you go through and try to fill out as many as you can. And then based off of that, they eliminate probably half the people right there, and then the other half get to stay and play like a imaginary round of Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, very, very cool. Well, thank you for that. And what's your mission, vision, purpose in the world besides being a Wheel of Fortune rock star?
Yeah, so I absolutely love helping and serve other people. I do that all through financial planning. My real niche or purpose in life I've found is to really help my clients eliminate and mitigate the expense of income tax within their wealth building, which I know sounds super exciting to everybody.
I tell you what, it sure does, because when people realize that, with respect to all things, that chasing investment home runs is a road to disaster, just like going to Las Vegas. And when you don't lose money in investing and you save money in taxes, that's how somebody like Warren Buffett becomes Warren Buffett. Are we aligned, my friend?
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome job. Gina, we got some rock stars, including my co-host. This woman, also from Texas, started selling crafts on her front lawn as an 8-year-old. Progressed to being a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing, and then, extraordinarily, became the #1 business broker in a male-dominated industry. First woman ever to do it, youngest person ever to do it at 24 years old, #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. Now, speaks on stages all over the place, helps businesses grow, build, scale, creating magic, the chief alchemist of Unblinded, my co-host, the one and only Bella Verita. Bella, what is a fun fact?
My fun fact, Sean Callaghy, is I think it's pretty fun and extraordinary that I am going to be escorting the one and only Sean Callaghy to the largest music festival in all land, Tomorrowland, next week in Belgium to speak in front of 3,500 people. I think that's a pretty fun fact that I get to escort you to your very first music festival.
Well, thank you. That should be absolutely extraordinary. Yes, I have never been to a music festival. My dad has been trying to get me to go to music festivals since I'm 5. I have run from it my entire life, but now I'll be at one in Belgium. So yes, thank you, Bella. Beautiful. You ready to rock this thing?
I'm ready to rock this thing. Let's do it.
Yeah, Gina, who else do we have?
Next up, joining us from Hackensack, New Jersey, this man is just 3 years out of law school, Sean. First-year associate with Aronson Weiner Salerno, proud because they serve high net worth individuals in complex divorce matters and work with business leaders and even sometimes celebrities in business law and real estate. Let's all please welcome Jonathan Gonzalez to the Heart of Influence.
Jonathan, working Hackensack, featured in a Billy Joel song, for sure. But brother, what brings you to the law? Like, why the law?
Well, to make a very long story short, I wish I had one of those classic cliche, I wanted to be a lawyer ever since I was a kid stories. The truth is, I went kicking and screaming towards the law. My parents were always saying, you should do it, you should do it. I'm like, nah, 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 nah. After a very rough time through high school, trying to do through college, trying to do science degree, I realized I may be going in the wrong direction. Made it towards law. Found out from my very first internship before law school that I loved it.
Awesome.
And I haven't looked back since.
Beautiful. Congratulations. And where'd you go to high school?
Sorry, I said that one more time.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to high school at a place called St. John Vianney down in Homedale, New Jersey.
Nice. Very, very cool. I'm a Jersey guy myself. I'm in Long Beach Island right now.
Nice.
And what's a fun fact about you?
My fun fact is, I would say I have own and have read close to over 6,000 comic books from all different comic book universes, Marvel, DC, Image, which is like the place that makes The Walking Dead. I am obsessed with them and I love them. So
that is super cool. What's your favorite comic book hero of all time?
So it's a series called Invincible. It's actually by Image Comics. It actually has a show now on Amazon Prime that, while I'd say graphic, is very, very good.
Beautiful. Batman, Superman, or Spider-Man? If you had to pick one, which one?
Batman, hands down, no hesitation.
Dark Knight, Christian
You
Bale.
just made a friend, Jonathan.
Huge, and I have owned many comic books myself, graphic novels, etc. So, Jonathan, welcome to the party.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. G Money.
Next from New York, New York, CEO and on-air host of Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish program, broadcasting for over 40 years, including WOR and iHeartRadio. Let's all please welcome Zev Brenner to the Heart of Influence.
Zev, how are you?
Good. A pleasure to be with all of you.
Thank you. And this may be incorrect. Were you at an event, Mordecai's event?
Yes, I was. That's where we first met. And I interviewed you for our program, right?
Yeah,
At the
I
event
thought.
itself, yes.
Yeah, just making sure. Okay, awesome. And how about a fun fact? I mean, clearly you are a rock star doing beautiful things in the world. And what's your fun fact?
Well, here's the thing, though. I'm on the radio, but a number of years ago, I had a cameo appearance on a movie that was geared towards Jewish children and families called Agent Emmis. So I was on with my kids. It was a wonderful experience. I believe I have movie credentials from that one experience. So that's a fun fact that I.
You're literally a rock star, and a movie star, and all the things. So, and what's
But they haven't asked me back. I haven't been invited to Marvel or any of the other films yet. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe after this appearance here today, who knows what will happen?
Yes, you could either be the next Bond, maybe the next Batman. It'll be.
I'd rather be in Superman.
Beautiful, Superman. And then, what's your mission, vision, purpose? Why do you do all the beautiful things you do, and getting messages out there to the world?
Well, basically speaking, we are about empowerment to the Jewish community. We broadcast, we're not limited. We have a lot of people who are not Jewish to listen to our programs, but we're there to provide help, services, have elected officials address the needs of the community. So we're there to also help people to communicate. As a separate hat that we wear is we help companies target and market to the Jewish community, and vice versa, have the Jewish community market to the outside community. So we wear a few different hats, and that's our mission, is to be a source of communication.
Wow, beautiful.
And empowerment.
And how do you spell your first name? How?
Zev.
Zev. Okay, just making sure.
And remember, Elizabeth Taylor had a boyfriend named Zev. But
Ooh,
you're too young to remember that.
She was married about 8 times, though. God bless.
Maybe more.
Maybe more. So, Zev, thank you so much for being here. Gina, we got Zev. Who else do we have?
We're going to Baltimore, Maryland now. This man started a corporation placement company 40 years ago and became Southern SoCal's most connected career coach.
Wow.
Absorbed by LHH, the top HR placement company in the world, joining as the senior VP, Intentionality, Relationship Capital, Business Creation, Acceleration. Let's all please welcome Bill Ellermeyer to the Heart of Influence.
Wow, who knew?
Bill, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, they're great to be here.
Awesome. And how about a fun fact about you, Bill?
I'm an old blues man. I had a radio show back in the 60s called House of the Blues. I should have patented that name, but when I was a naval officer, I was spent some time at the Memphis Naval Air Station and went down to Beale Street and fell in love with the blues. And I've been a blues collector of music for a long time. And my dad was a musician. And of course, when we got married and had children, myself, he had to leave that behind. But so blues is in my background. I'm an old blues guy.
Well, Bill, thank you for your service to our nation, for allowing us to have fun today and connect and live in a free world. So thank you very much. And Bill, so what's your current mission, vision, purpose from here?
I try to help people. The Gallup survey says, 70% of the workforce is some level of unhappiness, maybe 30% very unhappy. So I help people, generally people that are maybe approaching or in the late 40s or 50s. I help them get focused, I help them get connected, and I help them get employed. And about 60% of them choose to do something entrepreneurial. So helping people start or buy businesses, entrepreneurship is something I'm very interested in.
Very cool. Well, Bill, thank you so much for being here today on the Heart of Influence. We're going to have some fun today. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Gina.
Next from Long Island, New York, in-house counsel at Leviton Corp, intellectual property and data privacy attorney.
Whoa.
JDLM in intellectual property. I'm not entirely sure what that means. We'll learn. Benjamin Cardozo School of Law, She's on the train right now. Let's all please welcome Danielle Siegel to the Heart of Influence.
Danielle, how are you?
Thank you. How are you?
Great. So I know you got a little background there. Can you share a fun fact?
Yeah, I guess that my go-to fun fact is that I have a black belt
You
in
have
Taekwondo.
a black belt in
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo. That's
Whoa.
Yeah.
beautiful. Whoa. What got you into Taekwondo?
Danielle, can you help me when Sean gets out of line? Can you help me take care of that, please?
I'll teach you a few tricks.
Awesome. Thank you.
Danielle, who do you think gets more out of line, me or Bella? What will be your guess?
Definitely you. For sure. I gotta side with the girl.
Me! No, thank you. And what's your mission in the world, Danielle?
I guess I just want to make the world a better place, however that works. And just try to be a good influence and kind of help out wherever I can, whoever I can. And thank God I've been in a position where I've been really fortunate to help a lot of people in a lot of ways.
Wow, that is awesome. Your heart is fully present. We're grateful for you being here, and we're gonna have some fun today. And maybe you could break some like concrete blocks or something. So, Danielle, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, Gina.
Last and certainly not least, joining us from Asheville, North Carolina, this man aims to make the world a better place too. One job, one dream, one business at a time, helping businesses develop meaningful and fulfilling organizational cultures. Let's all please welcome Mr. Yermy Kirkus to the Heart of Influence.
Yermy, how are you?
I'm doing very well, Sean. How are you?
Doing great. Appreciate you very much. And what's your fun fact?
So, fun fact, most people don't know this about me, is that I was actually I was in the heart of a prison lockdown, actually. So that was a really exciting moment. It was scary at the time, but looking back, it was kind of funny and exciting, and all the emotions that go along with it.
So Yermy, can we ask like why did you get locked up and why were you in prison?
Yeah, so I was a volunteer chaplain in the prison and a guidance counselor in the prison. So as I was walking out of the prison, I was finished my shift. There was an incident, and when there's an incident and an officer touches the floor of the prison, that's immediate lockdown. So that's effectively how the lockdown happened, and we just all have to stay in place, and until you're released, in a sense. So that was my first feeling of ever being in prison.
Wow.
Well, first of all, thank you for looking to change lives and touch people's hearts. So thank you for that, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gina, love you, appreciate you. You're extraordinary. I'm going to rock this thing.
Sounds good. Thank you. Have fun in the multiverse, everyone. Ciao for now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gina. And Sean, before we get started, I want to introduce my co-host, the Magic Man, only one of two attorneys to win two top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014, 2016, still the largest one in Arizona and the only one that is blind. Not only that, he has spoken on stages such as Disney, top 10 Fortune companies like T-Mobile, and just recently stepped on a stage where they were looking to fundraise hopefully $200,000 for charity in Ukraine. Sean Callagy stepped on stage and rose $2.6 million for refugees in Ukraine. So I'd like to welcome my co-host, the one, the only Magic Man, Sean Callagy. Otherwise also known as Batman Jonathan.
Thank you. My honor, my privilege, the superpower of influence. I had a 3.4 GPA in high school. I failed freshman high school geometry. I was generally introverted. And the ability, once I realized that everything that we do in capitalist structure is about our ability to get our message across to humans integriously, because you want to feel great, obviously, about what you do, and to be able to build, grow, scale things. And I've built a 40-person law firm 6 months out of law school with no money, no relationship capital. I own a 125-person law firm now. I've had the privilege of speaking 2,000 times in the last 2 years. It's a real number. for audiences as large as 10,000, as small as 10, and all the things. So couldn't be more grateful to be honored to serve here today. This show is about how that superpower gets unlocked and we have fun with it and get to meet cool people. So Bella, let's do the things. Who's going first?
Let's do the things. And since we lost someone in the multiverse earlier, how about Jonathan? Would you be willing to also step in the participant seat with Chris?
Sure.
Awesome. All right. So we will start off with Chris first, jumping in the participant seat, and then we'll go to Jonathan.
Cool. So Chris, Bella will be anybody you want her to be. This is not pitch, hook, close, but we talk about going from hello to yes. Hello. Yes, because everything begins after yes. So Bella will be the person you're seeking yes from. She could be an ideal client, a strategic partner, somebody, I don't know, you're looking for a charitable contribution from, whatever would be a yes, Chris, that would matter to you. That's who Bella will be. So Chris, please, who is Bella going to be?
Let's see. How about she is a large prospective client, and I'm trying to set a meeting with her.
Perfect. And what?
And financial services, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So she's got some money burning in her pockets. Bella, take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella. Good afternoon. My name's Chris Moen. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, Chris. What can I do for you?
Yeah, hey, I know my name probably doesn't sound familiar to you, but do you know Sean Callaghy?
I do know Sean Callaghy. It vaguely rings a bell. I can't remember where I know him from, but it does sound familiar.
Okay, awesome. Glad to hear that. Well, I was actually doing some great planning work with Sean the other day, and your name came up in topic of conversation, and you just had the greatest things to say about you. I thought we would enjoy connecting professionally. I actually run a financial planning practice here in the Dallas area. Reason for my call is I wanted to see when you have 15 minutes available on your calendar next week. I'd love to share with you the type of work and planning that we're doing for Sean, learn more about you and your world, and see if I can be helpful or a resource to you all.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, I certainly appreciate that, but I actually have someone that I'm working with already.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Sean actually told me that you already are working with somebody. And that's exactly why I wanted to call you. About 80 to 90% of the clients that I currently work for are not financial babies by any means. They're very sophisticated financially. And there's some very unique proprietary strategies that me and my team can implement in the marketplace that the other outfitters can't even touch. It's not even close. So with that being said, I was totally expecting you to say that you already have a guy. I'd actually be shocked if you weren't already working with somebody. With that being said, I'd love to still carve out a few minutes in the next couple weeks, share with you what those strategies look like and see if they could be an important part of your financial plan.
That sounds interesting, Chris. You know, since Sean recommended you, I am willing to take a look, as you know, as long as it's in integrity and we know that I'm already working with someone.
Awesome. Are you in town next week?
I can be. Let's do it.
Let's do the things.
All right. Perfect.
Great job. Great job. We'll get some feedback from the judge in a second. Bella, who's going now?
Now we got Jonathan.
Jonathan, please, who would you like Bella to be, Jonathan?
I guess because this is something that's come fresh to my mind. Today I had a very difficult negotiation settlement talks with a client, and they basically trying to work and ease them into accepting something that basically, you know, compromise comes where no one's happy. And it's hard to get to that yes when the client is really emotionally invested in a certain argument.
Yeah, awesome. So Bella, you're
I love saying no.
The resolution. So Bella, you ready?
I am ready. Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. This is John. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, John. What you need?
So I've been talking to the opposing counsel, and we're coming close to a resolution. However, they really want you to give him like a little bit more money, Like if we can bring it up about another extra $1,000 or $2,000, we think we can really settle this case and put this all behind us.
Yeah, I'm sure they do want more money, but I'm not willing to give it. Everybody always wants more money, but why should I give it?
I understand that completely. So what I would propose is we go back with an intermediate ask, and also alternatively, we can ask them to give you something else in return. So if you give this a little bit more money, maybe we can get you a little bit more parenting time.
You know, I appreciate it, but it just doesn't feel right.
So what is your main reservation on coming to this? Because the alternative is we will continue to move forward towards trial, and ultimately you may wind up spending more than that $1,000 or $2,000.
Yeah, it just morally doesn't feel right. Like, I don't know how morally they could ask for more.
It's an unfortunate thing, but it's when we get stuck on the principle of things, we lose sight of the fact that if we stand on the principle, the one who's going to lose out is the kids. We're going to be spending the money that we can better spend serving them.
You had to throw that in there, didn't you?
I like to make sure everyone's aware of all the angles.
Got it. All right. So what does this look like?
So I think if we were able to give them this extra little bit of thing, we can work out getting maybe another extra weekend for you, extra day or two during the week. We can work out with however you want to spend the time with your kids and get that time and use it to leverage out this time.
Well, if we can get more time with the kids, it'd definitely be worth it.
I think so. I'm glad we can come to that. And so I'll go and tell them, and we can hopefully get this all closed out and get it all settled.
Got it. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Jonathan, can you make Bella say yes to like anything? This is great. Listen, Jonathan, excellent job. Belle, let's go to the judges.
Let's do that. So judges, Bill, Yermy, Danielle, Deb, what this looks like is 30 seconds of feedback for Chris and Jonathan, something that they did great, and then something maybe they would improve on, and then a score of 1 to 10. 1 being you would rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation. 5 being like, if they bought you one of those fun fancy drinks at Starbucks, you'd like meet them at Starbucks for a cup of coffee. And 10 being you would rent a private jet, pick up myself and Sean, and go meet them anywhere in the world that they wanted to go. So Bill, let's start with you. Your 30 seconds of feedback for Chris.
Well, I was, really impressed. I got to say. I would rate them up on out of 10, a 9 at least. Both of them were very professional, and were not flummoxed by any of the things you threw at them, and were very articulate in trying to convince you to set up the meeting and so forth. So again, I was really impressed, and I would have a hard time finding things that I felt they could improve on.
Beautiful. Great job, Bill. So he's going to pick us up in a prop plane, Sean.
Yeah, and this is a no flummoxing zone. I love Bill dropping it on that. So Bella.
Let's go with Yermy. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Jonathan?
Yeah, so being in that position that you were mentioning, I know exactly what I would have wanted to hear. You definitely scored a big 8 and a 9. I would definitely go up to there. You were very professional. You knew how to really talk to the point. You were also dealing with somebody who most likely would be emotional in such a case, but you kept the emotions out of it, and you really stuck to the core of what we were trying to accomplish, and it was very impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. And your score, it was 8-9. Got it. Okay.
So Bella, in the future, when you think about you could either have a root canal as a number 1, you might want to sometimes alter that and go, you could be in the middle of a prison. You'd rather be in the middle of a prison lockdown. So that could be a new access point. But Bella, back to you.
That could be fun. Okay, so let's go with Danielle. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Chris?
I guess you did a good job. I really appreciated the fact that you didn't get distracted, and you really did just like stick to your point. I guess the only thing that would note, sometimes this can be an issue. I'm always a little bit wary about using connections or name dropping to get a yes, only just because you never know like how much the connection is okay with that. So I'm always careful about that when I'm talking. Other than that, yeah, I thought you did a really good job.
And what was your score,
Chris? Special technique here. I guess I'd also give like an 8.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah.
And let's go with Deb. Your 30 seconds of feedback for Jonathan.
I think can you hear me? Okay, I think first of all, they both spoke well. Jonathan is an attorney and he uses his Esquire skills very, very efficiently. And I think both of them deserve an 8 or a 9 because it was really impromptu, it was on the spot. They didn't know what you were going to throw at them. And so I thought it was very, very well done. So kudos to both of you.
Beautiful. Thank you for that, Deb. And speaking of throwing people on the spot, this is the point in the show where I get to throw Sean Callaghy on the spot.
Me?
My favorite time. Because we had like John and Chris that hopped into the participant seat. They may or may not have known, what they're doing. And so I get to do a little reverse role play and put Sean on the hot seat on a scenario that he has no idea about, because one of you is going to get to set that scenario. As long as it is integrous, it can be anything you want it to be. Sean has been President Biden. He's been President Trump. He has even been Putin on a variety of political topics. Or he's been simply, an insurance guy or selling ice to an Eskimo, or my personal favorite, a very conservative New Jersey attorney on why he should go to Burning Man. So Sean, since I get to put you on the hot seat, and I know you probably want to go surfing instead, but how about you choose a number between 1 and 6?
Guys, she always does this to me. She does it to me every day. Like, why me? I don't know. What have I done to her? But okay, I'll play. Let's go with a number I've never chosen before. Even though we have had 550 shows, I'll go with the number 5.
Number 5. That would be Mr. Dev. Dev, would
Dev,
you
right?
like to set the scenario for Sean, or you could pass it to somebody else? Up to you.
Well, is the scenario dealing with what he does professionally or role playing?
Yeah, I have to be Zev. Make it hard, because that's how Bella likes me to be on the spot. So it could be anything that I have no idea about, have nothing to do with whatever. Like, so it wouldn't be like what I do. It's like it could be what I do, but that would make it easy on me. So you can make it anything.
I can portray you as Donald Trump defending January 6th. Okay.
You can make me Donald Trump defending January 6th, 100%. So Zev gets this. He's having fun. Bella, you two are conspiring together. I can feel it. Okay. And so, but Zev, who would I be talking to about it? So it's to one person, not a group. So I'll be Donald Trump, and who is on the other side of it?
Let's see. Who should you be speaking to? We'll pick somebody interesting. We'll pick Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, wonderful.
We'll make it interesting. We'll make it exciting.
All right. And who is going to play the role of Nancy Pelosi?
Let's see. Who should we pick? Should we pick Bella?
No, that would be easy because we do this all the time. But you want to make it somebody else that's here. And I'm not sure if Danielle is in a great reception place. Maybe she is. It could be
Danielle just had to leave.
Got it. Okay, so it could be anybody else then. So who?
Maybe let's pick Jonathan because he's an attorney. Let's pick Jonathan for it.
All right. So Jonathan, are you up for being Nancy Pelosi?
I guess so. Sure thing.
Anything goes today.
Okay.
Anything goes.
Yeah. Okay. So, Ms. Pelosi, I know we've got 3 minutes to talk, and thank you for taking the time. So, do you still have these three? Are these 3 minutes still good for you?
Sure thing. We can do this right now.
Yeah. So let me at the outset say that I apologize, and I'm sorry for the way in which I've communicated with you. There's been a lot of things that we've said about each other, but I'm not here to seek an apology from you. I'm here first to apologize to you. And I think I stand by my policies. I believe I brought a lot of great things to America, but I made enormous mistakes in how I handled communication. I thought it was necessary initially in the process of getting elected because there's a lot of things wrong with the system. But I should have pivoted and been far more presidential, and particularly, I had a tremendous amount of things to say, and you may or may not believe this is authentic, but I do mean it. I am sorry, and I'm prepared to make that statement publicly. So I'm sorry for the ways I've communicated with you, Ms. Pelosi.
Well, thank you for that. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to hear that. But I got to be honest. Until I do see you make that statement public, it's really hard to take things at face value. And I hope you can understand that, given the seeming animosity we've had these past few months.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you. And so appreciate that. And can I ask you? And I will do that. I'll talk about that before we pause. And I know we're running short on time. But Ms. Pelosi, why do you continue to do what you do? Really? I mean, we signed NDAs. None of this is going public, right? This is just you and I talking. Why do you actually continue to do what you do?
I do what I do because I believe in it. I believe in it. I believe to standing up for what I want. I believe for standing up for the people I represent. And at times it does make us diametrically opposed.
Yeah. And what is it that you want for people? When you think about America, you represent the people of the United States of America. What is it that you want for America?
Kind of hard for me on that one. But it's I want what's best for the people. I want to help them. I want to support them. I want to take care of our lower classes. I want to make sure everyone is represented equally, and I don't want to make a world that's just for a straight white male to be dominated by.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, and I could certainly receive that and hear that. So what I'm hearing, though, is you want equality, you want fairness, you want possibility and opportunity, but you do want a free America and a democracy. Is that fair?
That is fair.
Okay. So I know we got about a minute to go here. So is it okay if I share a little bit about a potential future conversation?
Sure.
Ms. Pelosi, I think we're on the verge of a catastrophic time. Half of America, and you could blame me for it, half of America doesn't believe we have a free and fair system of voting at this point. Maybe more than half of America, actually. A whole huge percentage from the left has been presented with the idea of being marginalized and not able to vote. A lot of folks on the right think that that's rhetoric or creating a fraudulent voting system. And whichever side we're approaching this from, it's an enormous problem. And we can either continue to perpetuate the divide, or we could do something different. And on January 6th, I regret how papers were initially filed on my behalf. And as I review them, there is scarce evidence cited in the papers. But I do think, Ms. Pelosi, that there's a lot of things that are catastrophically present that would be remedied by a very different conversation on both sides, from those that are marginalized genuinely to those where there's voter fraud, whether that's on the left or the right, and there is voter fraud. We've created polarization, you and I, with respect, and we need to change that. We're both getting older, we're both gonna have a legacy, and I don't know that we want our legacy to be how we're perceived, where we resonate with half the country and are despised by the other half. And I don't think that's good for America. So what I'm proposing is, after I lead and publicly apologize, I'm proposing that we have a half-a-day meeting with your advisors, my advisors, and we begin to discuss how to eliminate this divide. And there's no two people better positioned to do it than you and I. And I'll lead first. But all I'm doing is asking you to consider having a meeting for half a day after I apologize. So, Ms. Pelosi, how does that resonate with you or not?
I think that's a great first step. If I see that good faith show from you, I can certainly commit to a meeting like that. If the representations are true and honest, I'm more than willing to participate.
Awesome. Out of roll, Jonathan, how do we do as former President Trump and Nancy Pelosi?
I think we did pretty well. I find myself hard to get into that role because I'm not an extreme one way or the other. I'm one of those sad people that likes to sit in the middle a bit.
I'm with you, brother. But you did a great job. Zev, how do we do?
You did fantastic. I just wish the real Nancy Pelosi and the real Donald Trump would communicate the way you guys did. If they did, we'd be in much better shape today.
Well, thank you. Well, we're going to get there, my friend. Integrous influence, that's the mission. So, Zev, thank you for a great scenario. Put me on the hot seat. Thank you, Bella. Zev, how was your time in the Real Raw today?
How's my time where?
With us today on the Heart of Influence.
So far, so good. It's entertaining. It's informative. What more can you want? So far, so good.
Appreciate that. And Jonathan, thank you for jumping into the participant seat and also playing the role play with Nancy Pelosi. How was your time today, Jonathan, with us here?
I like this. I like this a lot. It was a good little exercise. It was a good time, good conversation. I really appreciate being involved in this. Thank you.
Did a great job. And as somebody who started as a New Jersey attorney and quit my job 6 months out of law school, working for a big firm, the journey is extremely perilous, but unquestionably making it to the other side, building, growing, scaling is possible. And
I agree. I like to say it has a difficulty curve so steep it has an overhang, but it's worth it.
Amen. I love this guy. Beautiful job. Chris, great job. Truly appreciate what you're talking about in the world of financial. With most Americans living paycheck to paycheck, you're causing a different world, a different level of thinking. Thanks for being here. And how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence today?
It was very interesting. I had no idea what to expect, and I was pretty nervous when I saw that I was only a participant on here. So I'm glad Jonathan jumped in and did some role playing with me as well. But yeah, it was great, and I appreciate everybody's feedback as well.
Well, thank you. Did a wonderful job. And Belle, do you want to check in with a couple of our final judges and how they enjoyed their experience today?
Yes, let's go with the man that served our country, Mr. Bill.
Well, yeah, thank you very much. Obviously, I had no idea, but I'm very impressed. This is like nothing else I've really experienced in this role playing here. And I kind of put you a little bit on the spot, but it was very educational and very different and memorable. So I'm just honored to participate.
Well, thank you, Bill. We've had 3,250 people like yourselves who've been on this show. So you're part of the ecosystem of the Heart of Influence, formerly known as the Real Raw. We just felt that Heart of Influence better represented what's happening here. And it's remarkable how many folks say the same. I had no idea what this was. I wasn't sure. But yeah, there's something here. It feels right. So Bill, thank you for that. And again, thank you for your service to our nation.
Thank you.
Bella.
Let's go with Yermy.
Yermy, prison lockdowns, heart-centeredness, bringing magic to the world. How was your time with us here today?
Well, definitely better than the prison. No, I'm joking. It seems that the prison world always comes behind me and comes following me. So I have to figure out how to like really use that. But it was really, really informative. I also came in here pretty much blinded and then it was unblinded. So it was really cool. But yeah, this was definitely some kind of experience that at least I wanted to try once. So I'm glad I did that. And I really think the highlight was that Donald Trump and Pelosi thing, which was really entertaining and interesting, and definitely a good vision of a better world that is in store for us. So I absolutely loved it. So thank you very much for that.
Well, Yermy, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you and beautiful words. Bella.
I think that covered everyone because we heard from Zev, Chris.
Your final.
So my final. So yeah, I want to share this is, someone recently shared in our ecosystem that Unblinded is the school for changing the world. And I truly believe that, and just want to thank everyone for being here and being a part of that experience, because without the Heart of Influence, nothing really happens in the world. And it was about 2 years ago where I sat in everybody's seat that you're in today. And I came into this ecosystem thinking, I'm going to teach Sean Callaghy a thing or two about sales. And I quickly learned that this isn't sales. This truly is the heart of influence. It is not sales, it is how to influence, which makes a difference in the world. And Tony Robbins, whether you like him or not, said that there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghy. And it is just an honor and a privilege to be here and share this experience with so many extraordinary people. And we want to invite everybody back to join us on a Monday night. And so, Sean, what is Monday night all about?
Yeah. So, again, thank you everyone for being here. There's a formula to this. And 25 years ago, when I came out of law school, going blind, $100,000 in debt, no identity, no relationship capital, no money, no teammates, I said, I got to figure this out. Otherwise, I'm going to go blind and be broke. And so my initial outcome was don't go blind and be broke, as I had other people in my family with my hereditary degenerative eye condition in that same position. And as I began to study, because I thought it was a choice between being integrous and being successful, and I realized that nothing could be further from the truth. And I spent the last 25 years, and certainly the first 2 years, when I began my own firm and built it from 0 to 40 people in 2 years, figuring out how to do exactly that. And it's been a remarkable journey. And this is our work in the world. And on Monday nights, we introduce people and teach some of what we're talking about. And with great humility, but being direct and precise, there is nothing like this in the world. So whatever you've heard, whatever you've seen, whatever you've done, come to Monday night and we will rock your world. And particularly, if you're already an outstanding person in influence, what we teach is that exponentiality begins after you are already great at something. I'll say it again. Exponentiality and acceleration begins after you are already great at something. And we go through math equations and formulas and heart and things to teach and demonstrate all those points. We got professional athletes, accountants, lawyers, financial service providers, people doing all sorts of things in our programs and our work, being mind blown. This is not I've been a certified coach for 19 years. This is not a coaching program. This is not a marketing program. This is not a sales program. This is not a leadership program. But it's not the greatest of all of those things and a ton more. But if this is the end, we wish you all the best in the world. You've been a beautiful group of people today. Couldn't be more grateful. But there are things here that just aren't seen elsewhere. And we just had a little fun illustrating with the Nancy Pelosi, Donald Trump thing, but a whole lot more. So that's what's up on Monday nights. And in final, I think the money we seek, the time freedom we seek, the magic impact that we seek. This is how I raised $2.6 million a few weeks ago. We're hoping to raise $200,000. Is in the micro distinctions right in front of us. But while I may be physically blind, I do believe that we're all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Good job.